Alright, so I wake up this morning and I've been thinking for a while about the, that good old Spyro Trilogy. You know this one, the one with the really nicely animated dragon in it, flying around with sparks. Got those dudes from the first game. Got this from, I guess, the first or the third game. It's gonna release in about a month and a half. It's about 6 weeks away. Now, let's talk about the PS4 version, because there you go. I don't even need to. This is fantastic. This is really fantastic. I don't understand. This is why you don't pre-order from Activision until after day one. Because none of this shit here, as far as I can tell, about it being downloaded for the most part, even though it's a physical copy, was put in the original promotional material. As far as I'm aware. If it was, feel free to comment. And I'm not here today to say digital downloads are bad. But if you look at this, copy of the game, it says, Spyro the Dragon, you can pre-order the Ignited Trilogy box for PS4, and it has 3 games in it. 3 games. Okay? Spyro the Dragon, Ripto's Rage, Year of the Dragon. If we play this, let's play it. It says, the adventure begins. Same slick moves. Rekindle the fire. And there you go, that's all 3. Now, to be really honest with you, I'm not particularly interested in buying this for several reasons. The original reason I wasn't interested in buying it was when when I bought this, I didn't buy a physical version of it. I bought it online. But what I want to just point out, first of all, is that Activision were able to put the 3 games onto this disc. They were able to do that. They put it onto the disc. It's a physical download, so it's possible for them to do it. So why couldn't they do it with this one? Now, what you might be saying is, but Spyro was a massive game. It had all these different worlds and stuff like that. But then so did Crash. Crash had lots of different levels. There was even additional content that they put in for downloads. And as I understand it, maybe there are, hang on. I can't find any information about it, but they released like another level or 2 for like the Switch and for the PC versions. That was digital download maybe, or maybe it came with the physical box, I don't know. It's kind of cheeky for Activision to, but actually it's not. Because they're trying to get people to buy multiple versions and they're giving a little bit of extra incentive with a new level. But like my question is, do the people who bought this on PS4 get that extra level via download, or do you have to buy the Switch in order to get that extra level and Crash? And to be honest, because of shit like what I've seen here with the Spyro Ignited Trilogy and how you have to download 2/3 of the physical thing that you've bought, I don't actually trust Activision to give PS4 players the extra level future tense. I don't trust them to give the PS4 players future tense. I honestly expect Activision to sort of make it a digital download exclusive to Switch and PC to reward people for buying it again. And I just think it's just... I don't know, like, I didn't even get through the whole of this when I bought it. And full disclosure, I didn't actually buy this when it came out physically. I bought this a while later digitally because at the time I didn't have the cash for it, but also, like, if I had known that I was paying for the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy, something that, like, hang on, you can just download an emulator for, and before you say emulators are illegal, well, they're not selling the game anymore. They're not selling the original Crash Bandicoot game anymore, are they? They are not. So if they're not selling it, you can't steal it because there's nothing to steal from. And so when I look at this, I think, okay, why would I want to play this when I can just buy that, when I can just download this? And in fact, as well, I'm sure some people are probably saying, but wouldn't it be more buggy if it was an emulator? I can run The Witcher 3 in ultra settings. Okay, I can run Far Cry 5 in ultra settings. I don't have issues with graphical power, but you know what? What we're gonna do today, before I continue, I wanna thank, where was it? YouTube, Jim.
It's been a hot minute since Activision.
Yeah, no, I want to thank Jim Sterling for putting a video up about it. I think that's really important to thank Jim for this. Because when I found out about this morning, I made a decision straight away that I was not going to buy this on release. Personally, what I would rather do is wait for it to come out on Steam. Like I know Crash Bandicoot has, but I know that fucking Activision are probably not going to do a PC release for it for a whole fucking year. So it's like, right, I guess if I'm going to be a stubborn asshole about it, where are the download links? Here, download Spyro the Dragon. I'm downloading an emulator online. Which one is green? I actually don't know which one is green. Oh wait, grass. Grass is green. Oof. Oof, man, this is super naughty what I'm doing right now. Oh man, you shouldn't be doing this ever. You never want to download EPSXE, apart from when you've got companies like Activision that are rebooting old series. Oh, this was a great fucking, damn it, I didn't expect for it to be, I didn't expect for it to be in a massive folder like this. I'm gonna make it into a small one here. But I want to show you, I guess, how you'd install an emulator if you wanted to play Spyro the Dragon. And I'm actually gonna play some Spyro the Dragon. I'm gonna see if I can actually play Spyro the Dragon on this. And I know Spyro the Dragon USA sounds a little bit different, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure if it's still the voice actors for Spyro that... Actually, no, the Spyro voice actor was different. As I understand it, the original Spyro voice actor was the guy who was Quagmire, is that right? Oh no, never mind, he hasn't. He's been... Oh, he was in Puss in Boots. He was in Scooby-Doo. He's done a lot of work. Brickleberry. Let's see if we can get this to work. Downloads Spyro the Dragon. So to be fair, I've just spent 10 minutes trying to get EPSXE to work, and it doesn't want to. Whenever I try to load a ROM, it goes into 720p 60 and it just bugs out. And I don't know if it's specific Spyro the Dragon ROM that I was using. I was looking forward to potentially making a point about how easy it was to get a hold of ROMs, but Windows 10 maybe just isn't built for it. Maybe there are better PS1 ROMs. But I used EPSXE. If you've got a better one that you know, let me know, because I'd still like to play old PS1 games, like the old Digimon World game. It's quite a cool game, but to continue where I left off, I understand that Activision have to make money. And I understand that Activision are worried about piracy, but who is gonna buy this game just to sell it in bulk? Everyone knows that because of the pre-orders, Activision aren't like Nintendo. Activision will, they'll stock up and they'll meet expectation because they want to make money. Even if there are people trying to sell off the physical copies at a higher price, Activision will be like, oh, well, there's more people wanting to buy games, or just make more, and so the price will continue to stay down relatively because it won't be exclusivity. So I don't understand why they would be worried about piracy. To me, it's just control. They want to have control over this domain, this platform. And maybe there was some sort of secret hidden issue with piracy. Let's check. Oh, okay, so there were people trying to do it illegally. Because of course there fucking were. Why would people not want to pay for it? See, this is the problem, though, as well, is that you have people trying to get a crack of the game. Like with Far Cry, you know, Far Cry 5. it just heated up my CPU and GPU to 70 degrees each in 1080p, and it was fucking ridiculous. I couldn't do anything, and I got constant blue screens, and it was because Ubisoft were fucking paranoid about people illegally downloading or playing their game. But Crash, I don't think does Crash Bandicoot DRM. Okay, so it only has fucking Steam DRM. There's no reason, performance-wise, for you to want to download it unless you didn't want to pay for it. And if you don't fucking pay for these games when they're new, there's going to be more DRM bullshit. So on Activision's side, I understand why people are upset about this. This was, as I understand it, deceptive, if not an outright lie. Like, saying you get 3 games in one is literally untrue, as Jim Stilling put it. It is untrue. You're not getting 3 games in one. You have to get, like, you get 1 game, and then you have 2 games. You get 2 games that, like, are downloaded after the fact. So you're not getting the 3 games in the case. That's a problem. Because when people want to buy games, and when you've got a game as important as this one that lots of people are really, really excited for you to then deceive that audience with some bullshit just makes you look like pieces of shit. Activision have pulled a dick move. But then you've got these people here who are downloading this fucking shit illegally as well, so it actually encourages this sort of shit so that developers aren't like, well, hey, you know, because... And I'm not saying that people, you know, I'm not saying that you know, people sharing physical copies is the same as pirating digital copies. I'm not saying that at all, but it's the amount of control that actually fucking annoys legitimate buyers that leads people to want to go and download shit for free. Because it's like with Pro Tools DRM. I tried Pro Tools 12, right? The new Pro Tools. And Pro Tools 12 was an issue when it first came out because it was all cloud-based as I understand it, right? You know, and it's fucking garbage because Pro Tools 12, it's like a cloud-based software, so what happens is that you have to download, where is it? Yeah, subscription. So you have to pay for a monthly subscription. If you pay for it, you download all the protective shit as well as the original Pro Tools software. Fuck off with that. You cannot have my cookies. You fuck off with that. What is this website? Holy shit. This is garbage. They say that they say that they're gonna collect, and you're like, no. So then they say, oh hey, no, we really need your cookies. You don't have a fucking choice. Fuck Abbott. This is the kind of shit I mean. They need your data, and then when you say no, because of the stuff that happened in the EU with their protection and privacy protection and stuff like that, and their data regulation, fucking companies like Abbott don't fucking care because they're happy having that extra information. So even if you say you can't have it, they just say, well, fuck you then. Fuck you. Well, fuck you too, Abbott. This shit is... The difference between Pro Tools and Spyro or Crash is that Crash and Spyro are $80. If you can't afford an $80 video game, you shouldn't buy you shouldn't be stealing an $80 video game. If you are like in your late teens or early 20s and cannot afford to get a game like this, or if you don't have a job and you can't afford it, you shouldn't have it. Pro Tools, right, on the other hand, Pro Tools, I don't even know if you can get Pro Tools as a product anymore. I think it's just a live service, and the problem with that is that you don't have a choice to not have all the extra fucking DRM bullshit that you download alongside the product, so you don't have a choice about whether you deal with that extra shit or not. And even before they had this monthly subscription, Pro Tools was like $1,500 to $2,000, and to buy an HD thing back in late 2010 was about $2,700 or some shit for a fucking Pro Tools high-end console. And you're like saying, but Logan, that's because it's an audio. It's because it's a fucking audio program. I'm like, that's the problem. If you charge too much, people are gonna steal it. Because unlike this game, Pro Tools is a fucking business industry standard, or it was until Reaper came along and programs like this. Do you know what I like about Reaper? In fact, look, this is I'm on a tangent now, I know. Reaper loads when I click on it. Pro Tools half the time fucking wouldn't, regardless of whether full disclosure, when I first started doing recording, I had an illegal version of Pro Tools, because of course I fucking did, because I couldn't, when I first started teaching, there were like 4 options, recording there were 4 options, and 3 of them were shit in the eyes of a lot of engineers, and there was one that was okay. Pro Tools was the one that was industry standard, and it cost $1,000, and now you've got this shit, which I'm not sure if I just clicked off of it, but this program does not give a fuck if you have not paid a cent for it. You download it, you get full usability, and I'm actually incentivized to pay for it, because I get to try it without the extra bullshit. Imagine if more companies were able to do that, or that they wanted to do that. If they were that confident in their product and in their users, that they could supply something and people would just not fuck them over. And I think the underlying trend here is with Activision, they're a company that is fucking their buyers off, being deceptive, and then with this shit, on an $80 game, people are fucking the publishers over. So everyone's just fucking each other over, and it's just bullshit. It's just fucking bullshit. And the people that get punished at the end of the day are the people that have actually been stupid enough to invest in a product that they want to buy. I didn't think I'd get so angry about this. I'm just hoping I'm recording this, because this is a good little run I'm having at the moment. I'm enjoying this. But like, I cannot fucking believe I'm saying this. I am not gonna buy this because of this. And it pisses me off. It annoys me. But out of principle, I can't. I cannot support this. But am I gonna download illegally? No. Because you know what? I had a job. I've been working since I was 13 years old. I bought my own games for the most part. And even if I had that version of Pro Tools, it's because I had no other way to do my fucking assessments when I was in my diploma year, because we had a fucking earthquake level our city in half, and I needed to record, and we couldn't record in the studio we had, so I had to download like $1,000 software illegally so that I can make money back. And I made that money back, and as soon as I could, I got off of Pro Tools, I started using software ethically, I bought all my plugins now, it is fantastic. But this, an $80 game and people are cracking it for no reason apart from to not want to spend games. The argument that, oh, I should just fucking download games because the industry is shitty. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're half of the problem. If you download games, if they work totally fine if you've bought them, if there is no DRM that's overheating your CPU or your GPU, if there is no difference between if you crack it or you don't, then you are part of the problem. You are part of the reason why this is as it is. Because your behavior is not good. It is not good at all. And I don't care if I piss people off about that. It's true. This is why you download stuff, because companies get paranoid. Because as consumers, we've let the industry go to a point where EA and Activision and Ubisoft, they have all these investors because they've spent millions, if not billions of dollars. They made all this money, they could grow their companies to a point where they could go international like this and be globalized. And now we're surprised that they wanted to protect their investments. And I'm not saying this is true, I think this is bullshit as well, I think it's seedy. It would just be really great if one side or the other could just be bigger and just fucking say, hey, let's just try and just do the right thing and either pay for a product when it's good, or if you're selling a product, don't piss off the consumer. Because I tell you what, between fucking Shadow of War, between Battlefront 2, between Destiny 2, between Dynasty Warriors 9, and a shit ton of other games, and I am not saying that every single game that's come out there has been bad, because for instance, I like Overwatch. But even Overwatch has fucking loot crates that used to have duplicates in them. I mean, even the Pokemon game is cynical, like the new Pokemon game. Like if I go to Mighty Ape, you know, I go to this, Pokeball Plus, it's $85 for a Pokeball. But it's as much as the game. this has got a Mew in it. The Mew is $85, but a friend of mine got a Mew playing Pokemon Go for free. So why is this $85? What? Why? I actually have realized during the recording, I've been wondering recently why I haven't been enjoying video games as much. I think it's because the industry has just turned to shit. It has just turned to shit at a level that I have not been cognitively aware of, or consciously aware of. I've been passively consuming information about it. But the more I look into it myself, the more I think, man, fuck this. Fuck this. Like, I look at the Steam page, right? If I open up Steam, I want to find one game that interests me. I'm gonna look at one game that interests me. Witcher 3 actually is a game, but that's from 2015, so it doesn't count. Let's look for more recent games, okay? This does not count. This game was a shit show when it came out, and they've taken 2 years to fix it, and they ran off with the money they made at the start. Yakuza? I mean, it's $28, it looks like a reboot, cool, that's one. Endless expansions, endless space, I don't know. Black Desert Online is mixed. So you can see here that it's got mixed up there, which means that 67%, that's not good. You know, that's fine. It's a cheap game. It's nice. Endless Space, Supremacy, mostly positive. Conan Exiles, Jewels of the Westpac. I mean, it's mixed. Rend, Elite Dangerous, Kingdom Come. There's nothing here that interests me. I think it's because I've just played so many games at this point. I mean, I was interested in Monster Hunter World, right? But why is it $104 on Steam? You know, if I go to this, right? Where the fuck did Steam go? If I go to this, why is there so much more information? I guess it's just because of the bundle itself. Why is it? This game didn't just come out. It's been around for ages. Why are you paying extra for it? Why is it $122? What? It's $90. Why is it $15 more on the PC? Half of its players may not have a computer that's more powerful than a fucking PS4 Pro. Why? And we don't even know if the fucking port is going to be properly optimized. So there's no point in getting excited, and they're trying to push extra shit on top of it, like a deluxe kit where you get emojis. You get 3 emojis, right? And you get a couple of things, like a couple of outfits, and you pay $16 for that. Oh my god, this was meant to be about Spyro. You know, here's the thing. If you want to know how to fix the the gaming industry, and I know a lot of people have put their thoughts forward, I'm gonna give you a fact, okay? The way to fix the gaming industry is this. There needs to be a correction. There needs to be a correction, alright? Like what's been happening in the cryptocurrency markets where the prices have all fallen because they were overvalued, there needs to be a correction in the gaming industry. The correction needs to be as follows. If you are a gaming organization or a company and you make a game, you have to make a game that works. Alright, this is really important. You have to make a game that works, looks good, and plays well, and makes sense. And if you're gonna put a story in it, make it a story. Get a writer. Get a writer that is competent, or a team of writers. Don't get like 14 like Michael Bay did for the most recent fucking Transformers film that was an absolute abortion. Just get a good writer or two. And all you need to do is just make a game that works in those areas. And then you can spend most of your budget, because you've saved on it, because all the extra bullshit, you've just made a game that works. Fucking used assets you've used in the past, I don't care. I do not trust a lot of game studios to come up with good individual ideas at this point because they're so fucking paranoid of people just fucking cracking stuff. You know, so what needs to happen is that if every game developer, and publisher just made games that were good in those areas I listed before, then the consumer would be in a position where they'd decide if they wanted to pay for it. Now, here's the thing on the consumer's part. This is really fucking important. If the publisher was to be honest in their communications and pull no dumb bullshit, the consumer would need to pay for it. They would need to pay the money that it was charged at. And then after a month, if it isn't selling well, then you lower the price. You know what I mean? You lower the price after a month. And if it still is not selling, then what you do is you say, hey, we're going to take this off the shelves for a little bit. Anyone who has downloaded the game will be able to play the existing version, but we're going to go away for a little bit and we're going to work on it. And we're going to make it better because you'd save a percentage of the money you earned without paying it off as fucking dividends to your investors. You save a percentage of that money and you put it towards development into further bettering the game you've made. And that is an update. It's not a day 1 patch, it's a day 60 patch. Now, this is with the assumption that you haven't gone and just screwed your game from the start by not putting enough time into development cycle and the polishing and stuff like that. You've released the game and it was ready. So if you were not ready on time, you apologize. You admit that you did not do it well. You make a date. You fuck up once, and then the second time, you don't fuck up because you release it on time, because you've given yourself plenty of time to fix it. Because I'm sure there are a lot of gamers who would rather have this game left like a month later so that all 3 games could be put onto a physical copy and then sold. And then we wouldn't have this issue, and I'd be buying the game on day 1 and there wouldn't be a fucking problem. I've already seen people making comments saying they're not going to buy it because Activision have fucked up. Should the publisher or the developers behave in a way that I have listed, and I don't think I'm being unreasonable, look what happened with Cuphead and look what happened with Undertale. 2 really good games that were made by indie developers that they took their time, they took risks, but when the game came out, it was complete, people liked it, there was added content for... Well, actually, there wasn't added content for Cuphead and Undertale, really, because they were both complete games. Even Five Nights at Freddy's, man. The first Five Nights at Freddy's game. I know that Mr. Cawthorn fucked up on Five Nights at Freddy's World or whatever, that FNAF World, but the rest of the games were reasonably good. In the sense that they came out, they were reasonably full products. And that's why he made the money that he did. Because he made a game that works. But yeah, to finalize that train of thought I had about the business practice and how people would go across, if the publisher did everything properly, the buyer would then pay the money required, and that would be that. And you'd have the game, and then you could do what you wanted to about it. Do you think the publishers and developers of Cuphead or Undertale give a fuck if you give a game to someone else? And a part of that might be because they made sure that they were digital downloads because they didn't want to have to deal in physical fucking copies because they realized, hey, it's just better to do digital downloads, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with just doing digital downloads. Like, if you're gonna do it, digital downloads, do digital downloads, but don't do this stuff that Activision have pulled when they say it's a physical, that you get all 3 games in the disc, but actually no, it's just 1 because the other 2 must be downloaded. And it is not a big deal. It is not, because they have lied. This is false advertising. This is not good. This is not a good thing. If you think that companies doing bad things is normal, then you are part of the problem, because the reality is that you have become used to them being shit. They have sucked you in. The moment that you accept a company doing badly as it being normal, you just become apathetic. You've just completely lost. You've lost everything, because in my eyes, it's okay to be unhappy about stuff. It's okay to want things to be better. This is not good enough. At all. This is not good enough. And I'm disappointed. Because I really wanted to play Spyro when it came out. But I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a while. I'm gonna see how I feel. I might change my mind. But I'm sure as shit not buying a physical copy. I'd rather chop my own dick off than buy a physical copy of this. Because I'm not going to support that actual practice. If they offer digital downloads, I'll buy it because that's what was advertised, but not this. And that people have pre-ordered this. They have pre-ordered it, and if this was said at the time that it got released, there wouldn't be an issue, but it wasn't. It was not fucking said at the time of release. This is bullshit. But also, fuck the people who are inevitably gonna find a way to fucking steal this game because they don't know that there is a fucking middle ground between a company pissing them off and setting their own cause on fire.